Ladies and gentlemen, Canada must send their police to the same academy as the US. You know, the I'm fucking stupid police academy. Okay? Because they all police exactly the same. Effing stupid. So, this story is about a black man. He was out at a convenience store just getting some milk, and he was assaulted by police. They claim they thought he was a stabbing suspect. Guess what? It wasn't him. Don't that sound like policing in America? It does. Montreal cops tackled a black man buying milk. Guess what their punishment was? They got suspended without pay for 30 days. I guess if you want to call that a punishment. Whatever. Two Montreal police officers who racially profiled a 54-year-old man buying milk in 2017 will be suspended without pay for 30 days, and the police ethic committee has ruled. So this story is just coming out, but it actually happened in 2017. You notice how long when they F up royally it takes for these stories to come out? The suspension comes 4 months after the ethic committee ruled that two officers were in the wrong as a penalty. It sets a new record, according to one advocacy group. I'm very enthused that the fact that the ethic committee has decided to take what happened to me so seriously in regards to their examination of the events. So this man, his name is Harold Burke, and he was not the right man as usual. They were very, very harsh in their declaration of the conduct of the police, both during the intervention and also in their behavior after the intervention, said Earl Burke, the victim, at a news conference on Thursday morning. The decision on the suspension is dated from last week on February 4th. The two officers uh, came before the committee last year and they were found in October to have violated police ethics. The committee took longer to decide on sanctions for the two. This is a decision that's important because it is the first time in our work we've seen such a strong and firm decision against racial profiling. Uh-huh. 5 years ago, on February 2017, 54-year-old Burke was buying milk, and he was at, a convenience store there when officers pinned him to the ground at gunpoint and handcuffed him. It was a case of mistaken identity, but one of the officers were hard pressed to justify. They were looking for a stabbing suspect who was described as 18 years old. Now, how does an 18-year-old look like a 54-year-old man? They thought an 18-year-old looked like a 54-year-old man. Okay, moving on. 6'1" and wearing clothing very different from what Burke was wearing. So he was not even dressed the same as the suspect. And he's a 54-year-old man. This man don't look 18. I'm sorry, you gotta be effing dumb as a cop to look at this man and thought he was 18. I can even see the gray hairs on him and everything. I mean, They thought he was 18? Oh, oh, I told y'all they went to the effing stupid police academy. Now you see why I said that. Burke is not only much older, but is biracial and 4 inches shorter than the suspect, according to CRARR. The police ethic committee found the two officers used excessive force, committed acts based on race or color, and made an unlawful arrest. Mm, mm, mm. Burke said he had mixed feelings about the suspension and became emotional when discussing the ordeal. Well, the way I feel about it is that there could be more. Yeah, they 30-day suspension without pay for what you went through, to me that's nothing. And I see they really failed to make these cops accountable. And, in 30 days, they'll be back working like nothing happened. I really feel that there needs to be harder penalties to help dissuade this kind of, I guess, what I would call arrogant behavior by the police against people who haven't committed any crimes. It's called racial profiling. That's why it happened to you, Earl Burke. It's hard for me to put into words how stressful it is to deal with, like a situation over 5 years waiting to have this come to light. He said, that's a damn shame. He waited 5 years for some accountability, and the best they came up with is 30 days without pay. That's it. Woo, y'all just as pathetic as they are here in America. Mm-mm-mm. So, ladies and gentlemen, also Quebec's Human Rights Committee also heard the case, ruling that in Burke's favor as well, and ordered the police to pay him, y'all ain't gonna believe this, $45. Woo! And I bet you they think they did enough. There will be hearings before the Human Rights Tribunal this fall in 2022. Montreal police haven't yet been reached for comment on the suspension. In its ruling this month, the committee wrote that the racial profiling, a particular uh, form of discrimination, and it affects people who are completely innocent. And because it's based in a series of conscious and unconscious beliefs on the part of the police. No, it's racism. That's all. Nonetheless, they call it a daily reality for many visible minorities and a serious violation. The committee noted that for two officers, it wasn't work in their favor, that they continue to defend their actions and argue that they'd been justified. So these officers were still, knowing they had the wrong person, arrested this man, tackled him all down to the ground, held him at gunpoint, and they're still standing there saying it's justified. Don't that sound like cops in the US? It sure do. It also acknowledged that it has doled out very few sanctions for racial profiling, just like the US, and that every case that sets a new precedent is marked differently. Just like the US, they get the wrong person, and you watch in the case of Amir Locke. Watch how they'll come forward in front of the camera saying it was justified. Watch, because that's what they do. So that's how you get out of being accountable for anything. Anything you do is justified when it absolutely is not. So the committee came up with this 30-day suspension, and they felt that was justified. The two officers continue to conceal their true motive, namely racial profiling, the committee wrote. The strong language marked a change for the committee, which at first dismissed Burke's complaint in 2017, then agreed to hear it after an appeal. This is pathetic. It is. I mean, for what they put you through 30 days without pay. So they're not saying the officers are fired. They're just going to go 30 days without pay. So when the 30 days are over, they're still gainfully employed. Y'all, please tell me what you think about this story. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.